After two 5-0 wins against Betis and Antwerp, everybody thought Barca was clicking, they're back. But soon, draws against Mallorca, Granada, Rayo Vallecano, and losses to Shakhtar and Madrid in spectacular fashion sort of changed the mood immediately at Barca's camp. Even the games they won, they often had to struggle and barely won by 1 goal. However, with the most deciding schedule of the season, Barca turned it around. Barcelona had to face Porto at home in order to clinch first in the Champions League, something that was deemed as a given. The pressure was on, but they won 2-0 thanks to a fantastic Cancelo and Felix, who scored the winning goal. Nevertheless, they still had to host a Griezmann-led Atletico Madrid in order to keep their league hopes alive. That was the game where everything changed and the mood suddenly switched from disaster, crisis, to Barcelona are back, beautiful football. That's just one example of how quick narratives can change in football. But what are the keys for this Barcelona turnaround? Firstly, when Ter Stegen went off injured for the rest of the year, many feared the worst, but Iñaki Peña has shown up massively in 2 big games, straight off the bat. I am sorry, but I do not understand the news about Barcelona in the market for another backup goalkeeper. You have Iñaki right there. He can make big saves in important moments, and he's from La Masia. Give the guy a chance for 2 or 3 months at least. Whether he performs or not consistently, at least we will know what we're getting. Now, I don't want to criticize Ter Stegen, but does he save that free kick from Depay? I don't know. It is just food for thought. Xavi made some key tactical changes for these games, which changed the whole mood of Barcelona, making it look more so like the Barcelona of last year. More compact, more solid, better in possession, and more movement. Well, it starts with the defense, the reason Barcelona won the league last year. Xavi went back to 3 central defenders, with 1 fullback. This time, Cancelo took Balde's spot at the left back. Although Balde offers massive width and speed on the left flank, he's still inexperienced, especially in the final third when he has to make the decisive passes. That is where Cancelo shines, as his on-the-ball talent is unparalleled. The guy is basically a winger. Although Balde still offers a lot defensively, he still has a lot to mature, and we should all remember he's barely 20. He will have time to regain his spot. The season is long and there are injuries. We have to remember, most 20-year-olds do not play as a starter, especially in teams like Barcelona. People are too hasty. I've seen posts on Twitter saying they should sell Balde. Newspapers like Sport saying that Barcelona should sell Balde, or maybe Balde should be sold. Everything is a little too hasty in my opinion. Balde will be back, he'll be a starter for Barcelona in the next 10 years, 15 years, if he's professional. But for right now, Barcelona need results, and Cancelo is the man to do that on the left back spot. Inigo Martinez started the season very well and had a good run of games until his injury before Atletico Madrid game. He was even keeping Andreas Christensen out of the team for a minute. Ronald Araujo is also key. Whether it's a right back, center back, the guy is the best defender in the world wherever you put him. Pure, unadulterated defending, one-on-one tackling, positioning, physical, speed, he has everything. But the biggest change that we as Barcelona fans have been waiting for was him playing as center back and Koundé moving at right back. As much as Koundé was our best center back at the start of the season, he simply is not better than Araujo long term. I'm sorry, for the good of the team, Koundé has to play at the right back spot in order to balance the side. You cannot keep playing Araujo at right back. He will be at risk of getting injured at right back spot, and we already know he's injury prone. You also lose the physicality and heading ability of Araujo at center back. I'm sorry, but Koundé will just have to suck it up and play right back eventually. He offers the team immense stability and versatility on their right flank. Unlike many people think, Koundé is actually decently effective in the attack. I'm sorry, but overall, Koundé is still one of the best right backs in the world, even though haters will not admit it. Even though Koundé himself will not admit it. In my opinion, the best starting lineup for Barcelona right now in the defense is Koundé, Araujo, Christensen, and Cancelo. You need a solid setup, and I think 3 center backs is a must no matter what happens. But why are 3 center backs crucial? Well, that's because Barcelona's midfield lacks a proper quality DM. We cannot blame Oriol Romeu. We all knew what he was and what we were getting with him. And he has performed better than his price, to be honest. But in the big games, the important games, he's just not gonna cut it, I'm sorry. The problem is that there is no other proper DM in Barcelona's team. Frenkie de Jong, we all know, can play there but is not positionally aware enough. His lack of concentration and positional awareness will cost Barcelona. Gundogan can also play there, but it is a similar situation to Frenkie de Jong where positionally he is very weak and he also cannot track back or offer the defensive cover that someone like Prime Busquets could, or even Oriol Romeo to be honest. However, Xavi understood that in the big games, quality matters most. Frenkie de Jong and Gundogan together can offer some stability in the midfield. Pedri is the creative force, he's the number 10 you can say. He's the one who drops in between the number 9 and the midfield. He's the one who links the play. He will not offer that much defensive cover besides a little pressing, but in terms of on-the-ball movement, creating, controlling, this is the best midfield Barca could have. We have to talk about Frenkie de Jong and Pedri. In terms of possession, controlling games, Frenkie de Jong is the best midfielder in the world, I'm sorry. I rate him higher than Kimmich, I rate him higher than Toni Kroos right now. He completely orchestrates the whole game for Barcelona. Pedri's creativity is not often noticed or awarded with assists or goals, but if you see the games against Atletico Madrid or Porto, you'll often see him making the pre-assist pass. His importance is not in stats, but it is invaluable to the attacking play in Barcelona. This was evident in the Porto game, but especially against Atletico Madrid, who were flying. They made Atletico Madrid look like kids, playing 1-2s, finding the open man, free space, driving with the ball. It was actually beautiful to watch. It was a version of Busquets, Xavi, Iniesta, but a modern one, you could say. In that regard, creativity-wise and on the ball, this midfield is one of the best in the world, do not get it wrong. But defensively, again, it will struggle. And that is why the 3 center-back system is a must. The 3 center-back system is there to make up for the lack of proper DM in this midfield. You cannot roll with 2 attacking fullbacks and then not a single proper DM in your team. I'm sorry. It's in a 4-3-3, that simply does not work. Especially for a team like Barcelona who often go on the attack, they press a lot and leave a lot of space in behind. You just get cut open in the highest level. Now we come to arguably the weakest part of Barcelona's team, unfortunately. It's the attack. Spearheaded by Robert Lewandowski, I'm sorry, the guy is just too old. He's just not it anymore. Not only is his age a problem in terms of pressing, movement, energy, dynamism, he simply lacks the finishing and killer instinct he used to have. Lewandowski's strength as the number 9 in comparison to Luis Suarez or Benzema or Ibrahimovic was always his fox in the box mentality. You knew that if you gave this guy time in the box, he'll score. He simply does not have that anymore. Therefore, his weaknesses are more prevalent now more than ever. His lack of combination skills, especially in a team like Barcelona where those are crucial, is becoming more and more prevalent. I cannot tell you the amount of times we have found Lewandowski in the box and he just takes way too many touches, drops deep and then ruins the attack or loses the ball. It simply does not work. Not only will Vitor Roque push Lewandowski to get better due to competition, but also he'll allow him time to rest. Right now Lewandowski is playing every single game with Barcelona, with Poland, everywhere. It is unbearable for him. Since the World Cup, he has not been the same. And game time has to be a factor in it. He's playing way too many minutes. Ideally, the best thing for Xavi to do with Vitor Roque is bring him on the last 10-20 minutes when Lewandowski is already tired and has given everything. You bring in a more energetic forward, a younger, hungrier player in order to confuse the defenders, change the dynamics of the team in the last couple of minutes, and keep the competition fresh for the number 9 position. On the right flank, meanwhile, even though I have to say I don't consider him good enough for the level Barcelona intend to be and want to be and have to be, Rafinha is doing okay these past couple of games. The only thing he's missing is lack of finishing and killer intent. He wastes way too many chances and he often doesn't look up when shooting. If you notice, he often gets in his zone where he can cut it and shoot, but he often does not look up to see where he's supposed to shoot, where the goalkeeper is, and where the post is. I think that has to do with a lack of confidence too. His off-the-ball work rate is commendable, But positionally, I also have a few issues with him long term. He's a cut inside winger who is not very effective or creative. Therefore, Barcelona struggle for width in their right hand side, especially if someone like Koundé is playing, which already does not offer enough width. Having a winger who creates space will help Lewandowski massively. And last but not least, the left wing position with João Felix has shown up in the biggest games for Barcelona. After about 10 games where he only had 1 assist to clinch us a victory against Porto with the second goal of the game, in order to qualify us for the round of 16 for the first time in 2 years. Then, having a chip on his shoulder, Atletico Madrid players drop in interviews after interviews, maliciously talking about him like Griezmann, Oblak, Simeone. Felix showed up and probably played his best game of the season. Amazing chip goal against Oblak, and the celebration, he's definitely not going back now, is he? What I'm most impressed about is his link-up play with Cancelo on the left. Despite the lack of width Cancelo offers due to him being a right-footed player who wants to cut inside and shoot, they've actually worked very well together in terms of passing and understanding, and they have to keep it up. They're the most creative side of the field for Barcelona on that left wing. I expect Felix to start again and again and to get better. He's now on 5 goals for the season, but he needs to prove himself more. He needs to be more efficient, and he needs to stop hitting the damn post, man. Barcelona is the team who has hit the woodwork the most times this season in La Liga and wasted the most chances in La Liga. It's clear to say that our attack is the worst part of the team right now. We can create, we can defend well when we play certain formations, but we simply cannot seem to finish our chances. Nevertheless though, this momentum change brings Barcelona back in the La Liga race. I expect Barcelona to fully carry this momentum in the future games and continue to win points, to close the gap to Girona and Real Madrid. Well, that's it for today, folks. Let me know what you all think Barcelona should do for the rest of the season. Do you like this new system Xavi is playing? What do you think about João Felix's form? And can Iñaki Peña successfully substitute Ter Stegen for the rest of the year? Thank you, peace out.